Good day, everyone, and welcome to Obidient Family TV. The program is Hope Alive. Yes, there is hope. Even when the Labour Party is having wasbos and all of that in their headquarters, and the NLC is picketing their offices, there is hope. And a new Nigeria is certainly possible. Good morning, afternoon, and evening, depending on our time zone. We don't come make we discuss wetin dey happen. This time around, we won't bring wetin dey happen for Labour Party because a lot of people they come for our timeline and different platforms. They ask wetin dey happen with Labour Party. Are we still in Labour Party? Is Peter Obi still a Labour Party? Yes, he is. And he will address these issues at the due time. But what we want to bring specially is really the issue that are just emanating as Labour Party themselves has actually reacted to these spurious allegations that is tabled against Abure, the national chairman of Labour Party. So as we can see today in Abuja, they deployed police just to maintain peace and order in the headquarters of Labour Party, notwithstanding that the Nigerian Labour Congress still went in to actually hit that very place with some protests. That will be coming on the discussion. And we will be discussing again the passage of the bill, the Student Loan Act. That is the bill that is helping the students to actually take up their studies in different universities of their choice on a loan repayment basis. That will bring at this very hour. And we also talk more on the things that are actually happening, especially their reactions on the strike action by the striking authorities in the schools across Nigeria. All those things we'll bring to you, and I'm not the only one to have this discussion. I have Divine in the studio.
Thank you for joining us. We're so glad to have you on this episode.
Yes, as you are joining us now, please do like and share so that other Obedients will know that Obidient Family TV is live. So let's hit the ground running right now, straightforward. What is happening? The reaction coming from the Labour Party has to deal with the fact that the main political parties accusing the APC of actually orchestrating this very particular thing, just like they did with Nnamdi Kanu. But let's get the thoughts of our own analyst here. Let's Divine tell us what her thoughts are on this.
It's just really laughable, to be very honest, because it just shows them a great misplacement of priorities on the part of the Nigerian Labour Congress to actually allow themselves to be politicized, or rather actually, carried away by things that are related to politics, as opposed to the cry of the labor workers in their Congress and in their institution, right? And so it just shows that I don't take them really seriously, because I think it's coming from the faction of the estranged Labour Party president or chairman in the person of Nnamdi Kanu, because since the Supreme Court or Appeal Court sacked him, then there has been different forms of plans to make sure they destabilize Labour Party. So I don't really take them seriously. And secondly, where was this energy from the Nigerian Labour Congress when we had issues plaguing the average Nigerians, issues of hunger, because they came out to come and protest, and in one day they wrapped it up and said, you know what, we're no longer going to put pressure on these people. And we expected them to do extra, because we're talking about safeguarding the lives and properties of their members, and also better working conditions for their members. But they chickened out last minute without any explanation, and for them to come out right now and just be bothered about things that has little bearance with them, it just shows misplacement of priorities.
Yes, a real misplacement of priorities. As we know, the reaction that is coming out from Abure and the spokesperson of the Labour Party laments the issue being that the Labour Congress, they are not the direct owners of the Labour Party. These are two different associations. That is an act of Congress. And what they have just explained, that is the Labour Party spokesperson, is that the Labour Congress is an association of its own and cannot come at this very time to go into the political aspect of Labour Party. Labour Party is a different entity, and moreover they explain that not all members of Nigerian Labour Congress are their party members. Therefore, the Nigerian Labour Congress does not have any hold over the party and cannot cannot subject the party to not holding a national convention. And the part of our discussion, as it contains Abure's misappropriation of funds and other things, we know that His Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi, had earlier addressed this very particular issue, that an auditor will be invited to actually look at these very things. But the questions that are being asked by the Obedients everywhere is whether Peter Obi is moving out of Labour Party. And we can tell you for now, as far as we know, he is still in Labour Party, and he's going to address this very issue that the Labour Party has called a rascality and criminal intent that they said they are actually going to take to court. But like Divine rightfully said, it's a misplacement
of priority.
Yes, misplacement of priority on the Nigerian Labour Congress. We know when Labour Party was going through a whole lot during the court season in Nigeria, where everybody was going to court, we never see them picketing all the offices of the INEC. They never went to those offices. During the time when we know that mandate has been hijacked, if they so say that they have the authority or that they have ownership of this same Labour Party, they should have stood there, call up all their members to protest for the whole of Nigerians for the mandate to be returned. They never did such. Why is it they are coming at this very point to tell Nigerians that they actually own the Labour Party and convention cannot be held? We are not speaking for the Labour Party. What we are here to do is to bring the different perspectives from where it's coming from. Labour Congress, we've heard from them, and we have issues, serious issues with them. Why? Because they have the mandate to actually make Nigeria better, which is through their normal strike or their protest, to make sure that every state government pays salaries. It's what they are supposed to be doing. They are not doing that. One day strike and they have gone underground. And then the whole masses are left to continue to suffer. So we are not in for the Labour Congress. Neither are we here to defend the Labour Party. They will sort their issues, but at the same time, we hold grudges against the Labour Congress because of what they are subjecting Nigerians into. And that is where we are going to hold that. We see how the matter goes forward to about this year across all the Labour Party offices. And let's see how it plays out. So let's go to the next thing that we have on our table. And I'm sure His Excellency Peter Obi is going to talk about it. Definitely. Let's see what happens by tomorrow or by this evening. We know he's going to surely talk about it. So let's keep our peace while we wait to hear from His Excellency Peter Obi. Then the next thing we have on our timeline is the Senate having passed the students' loan. We discussed about this, Divine, a few days ago about this loan and how the restructured loan is actually geared towards helping the average Nigerian student to get into institution of higher learning, so that they can be able to take advantage of this very particular thing. So I think now that it has passed, finally, is going back to Tinubu to sign. I believe him that has authored it will make that happen quickly, so that our youths who are intending or unable to go to universities can actually take advantage of this.
Well, this is a step in the right direction, even though I'm actually tempted to believe that this might be a ploy on their end to actually divert the attention of, Nigerians from the alleged budget padding and all the discrepancies that came with the 2024 budget. But still, it is a laudable decision, right? And so after passing it, we hope that the Chief Bola Ahmed Tinubu actually signs this speedily, and therefore we are able to, put this behind us and have the beneficiaries, who are the students, who are the Nigerian youths, to be able to access this loan so as to make education not be something that is, so far-fetched from the Nigerian populace. This is a step in the right direction, and with all of my heart, I applaud this, development.
Yes, I join you, Divine, to applaud the Senate for a quick passage of this, because even while we are opposition, we should criticize in the right direction, and we also should come back to the table for people who are doing for what is being done right. So we know that a lot of students are in their various homes because they don't have money to pay for these tuitions, you understand? And if the Senate, on their own wisdom, as they always say, choose to do a fast reading of this to pass this into law, so that the young ones who are at home, who are unable to go to school because of school fees and others, could be able to do so. Kudos to them, and I believe that that is what you want. Your man, they do.
Well, speaking of wisdom that she raised, I think it is important to note that at least we are getting to see this wisdom, according to the executive, in the person of Bayo Nanuga, that they are putting this wisdom in places other than, budget padding and budget stuffing. Because when the budget was padded, the executive actually alleged that it wasn't padded by 3.7 trillion, as Senator Abdul Ningi had, alleged, but rather by 1.2 million and 1.2 trillion rather. And he said that it was the Senate did this in their wisdom. So it's good to see that this wisdom is at play now, and that we get to see it in a way that's going to benefit Nigerians. So kudos to them and their wisdom. So please, for those of you who are at home, please, once this thing is out, go and search for this very bill, see the requirements and every other thing, so that if you're at home and you are unable to go to school, you take advantage of this. Whatever the government does that is good, we're going to bring it out. And whatever they do most often that is wrong, we are going to bring that out. That is the essence of having an opposition that is critical. So let's again look at the other thing that we have on our table tonight. We also have something that has to deal with this very SANU and NASU strike still going on. We heard this time around is happening at, I think, is it Lagos State University. The one we discussed earlier in the day has to do with UNICAL. Right.
Yes, and we saw that UNICAL people did the wrong thing, locked the gates, still want students to come and take exams. Right. And we weigh the two options and we say, no, it's not good. They are actually not, they say there's conflict of interest in the two, ASU and the NASU, and then the other this thing. So here we see that it has turned another way to Unilag Gate, where the strike continues. What do you have to tell us what is happening in Lagos then? Sincerely,
I actually just hope that they come to a consensus, to be very honest, because the plight of these people, the points that they are raising are very valid points, and if you work for the government, you deserve to be paid. Even if you're not just working for the government, for anybody in particular, you deserve to be paid. So withholding their salary is something that is not very right, especially in the current economic conditions of the country, because it is needed. Because if you're working, you need to be able to see the pay to such your daily expenses and all of that. So I don't like the silence that is coming from the federal government as regards that of these people, whether or not that they are academic staffs or not, does not actually trivialize them or their impact. Because what is a tertiary institution without administration? And these are administrators. So I call on the federal government and all well-meaning Nigerians, particularly the Ministry of Education, to actually, sit down and have conversations, actual conversations, where the interest of both parties are going to be, listened to and worked on, not just some kind of phony conversation. Because I heard there was, a call that they made with these people. I needed to go beyond just phone calls, and actual steps should be taken in order to make sure that this does not occur.
Yes, and that is the expectation. Let's move to the next thing that we have. on the table, which has to deal with the Egunjeko. That is the Lagos slangs for the hardship. You know, just mentioned about the hardship that is happening everywhere. That reminds me that they said that finally that Lagos State has started doing that. And you know, last time when we were on the show, somebody actually asked and brought it to our attention that the reported sales of the 25% discount in Lagos State is actually not happening. That have gone towards two locations or two local governments, and still they can't find the market where the Lagos State is actually selling these very items. However, the Lagos State government keep getting back to say that they are actually doing this, and they are doing it in different places. So they said even this place, they said they have Sunday market in Badagry division. For the lady who said she did Badagry, we are not in Lagos actually, but as you can see displayed, they said in Badagry they have several locations, and we are not the creators of this very particular banner. And this is what we see that they have projected where the food discount markets are located. So please do, and we see many reports that are coming out. You can see this one saying from Phoenix that Lagos government finally launches the cheap foodstuff markets, slash prices of rice, gari, indomie. They included eggs and all of those things. That is in reference to the governor of Akwa Ibom, who said that the poor cannot eat eggs. What do you have to say again?
Well, it's just interesting. That's a very funny reference, to be honest, when in relation to the poor people don't eat eggs, because, I mean, egg is like the cheapest source of protein currently, and so poor people most definitely eat eggs.
So kudos to Lagos State government
for actually including eggs.
Yes, not just the eggs, they added indomie, they added several other food items. I think the Lagos State government is doing very well as at this point.
Well, I just want to actually note, in case some people are unable to actually go through this letter, it is open on Sundays from 11 p.m. to 4 p.m. So emphasis on just Sundays. So don't go there on weekdays expecting to see something from the flyer that was shared on their X handle, the official X handle of the Lagos State government. It said Sundays, right? And that is from 11 p.m. or rather 11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Okay, so that will be also kudos to Lagos State government, and let them make sure that the people get this very gari rice and all the necessary things on this very hardship. Then we had about a fire being consumed at the Dosomo area of Idumota, Lagos. Early this morning, fire was just blazing, and whether it's awesome, we wouldn't know, but we know that a lot of Igbos are trading along that very location, and they lamented that goods worth millions to billions of naira has been lost. We don't know, as at the time of this very report, as you can see on the screen, that so many buildings are actually on fire. The source and the origin of this very inferno is yet to be determined, but we are keeping our eyes open as this happened at the early hours of today. So as we can see in this very video, the fire service is there trying to do their job, but hey, the fire is just too much.
Well, it's just actually very sad to see. When I watch this, it's with some level of you know, pity and anger, both really mixing up, because it is so sad to see. Pity because, I mean, I imagine people's sweat and people's hard work going down the drain in this inferno, especially considering the current economic realities of our nation. What is it going to cost for the landlords, the owners of this building? What is it going to cost with the current prices of cement to actually put these you know, buildings back into a good state? And also anger because I don't know what's cost the inferno, because it has not been released at the time of this report, but just really an anger because, like, these are people's sweat that are on the line, people's means of livelihood. And so condolences, and I you know, commiserate, if that's the word, with the people who had lost these properties in this fire, and hopefully we pray that you get a double of what it is that you have lost.
And that Lagos State government should actually go into this and find out what this is, and whether it's awesome or criminal intent, because we know what goes on in Lagos. Igbos are victimized and all of that. But let's hear from the Lagos State government on how this is going. We'll get back to that. Then let's get to the latest scam that is imposed by the Minister of Transport. According to reports that is coming in, a lot of these reports going round that the Minister of Transport had brokered, that Tinubu actually, joined on this very project to put up a rail line contract that is purely a scam, according to the people who will bring this. But I will want you to hear from the people who actually projected this, and but we've read about this severally and we chose not to comment on it, waiting until the facts have been drawn into place and the facts has actually been exposed. But let's take a sound bite and a video that was projected for this very purpose. Let's take a listen to that.
You know this guy? I bet you don't, because I don't too. Well, that is the Minister for Transportation, Senator Alhaji Saidu Alkali. He was appointed by the President last year. And you know what? He has been one of the most dormant ministers in this administration. But last week, he surprised everyone when he announced that he signed an MOU with a company in the UK. So for the construction of, I think, Calabar, Enugu, Port Harcourt Railway Traction. The name of the company is MPH Rail Development Limited, registered by one Mr. Andrew Jason, a British citizen in the UK. Anyway, we checked out the name of the company and it was discovered that actually the company was registered in 2019. And since then, the company has been dormant. And in fact, the UK government has threatened to disregister the company twice in the space of 5 years. So this is strange. However, that was not all. When we checked the activities of the company, we discovered that, number one, the company has never handled any rail construction work in any country of the world before. Number two, the company is barely 5 years old with no track record of any activity. Number three, the net asset of this whole company is, guess what, £100. And the striking thing is that they employed 4 Nigerians as directors in the space of 6 months. The question we are asking is, how were they vetted? What was the criteria for them to have signed an MOU with Nigeria? What is their work experience? And why did they employ 4 notable Nigerians as directors in the space of 6 months? Was it just for this job? Do you know the most interesting thing? The CEO of the company, Mr. Andrew Jason, has already written on a LinkedIn page that they are already working on our railway system in Nigeria. And on Thursday, something striking happened. Mr. Ikufuriji Adeyemi resigned as the director in the company. However, the ministry came out yesterday with a statement. Guess what is in the statement? Guess right. A whole lot of nonsense. This whole contract scheme is a scam from the beginning to the end. And we want well-meaning Nigerians to see that it is and fight against this lay-light robbery.
Reaction, as we can see, the Minister of Transport, they said he hasn't done something much since he's in the office, but the first one is to arrange a very high-profile scam to actually get a very high-profile job from Tinubu. You see how these things are playing out. Sometimes Nigerians can research and research and research up to the extent of what the company in the UK is doing.
A government that has its antecedents before the public, you now leave little to the imagination of Nigerians, because trust them to do their FBI duties and actually dig up everything related to it. And this video came with a lot of, facts, and it just pointed out to one thing, that this contract, or rather this memorandum of understanding that was signed, is a sham, is a scam, and is also a phony. Because how do you offer, or rather sign a contract or a memorandum of understanding with a company that has no experience, that's less than 5 years, and then this company, like they rightly said, has been delisted from every form of corporate organization in the UK because it has inactivity. There is no recorded projects that this company has done, and you're taking something as capital, a contract as serious as something to conduct real line projects for millions of Nigerians to apply through. And that's why it just shows that aside them just siphoning money or even budget padding, most times when the money is even received, even when they are allocated to projects, we don't get the best of contractors to actually make this project, because they care less about the lives of the people who get to use these facilities. And it's just very sad to see, because this supposedly dormant minister probably was just dormant enough just so he, you know, buys himself time to be able to, you know, conduct this sham of a contract. And
well,
it's just very
I
sad.
think that very particular thing, why we actually bring this up is because we have looked to the fact that the ministry is now disowning that MOU, saying that it was just for trials. Meanwhile, if the whistleblowing has not started a few days ago, I think by now we'll be hearing that a disbursement has already been done. Well, that is part, and that is what happens in Nigeria. Finally, things that we want to just mention to you. Some people do say that crime in the southeast is actually orchestrated by the IPOB. But it is surprising that yesterday the leader of the IPOB, which is Nnamdi Kanu, actually was in court, and was on national TV, that he said anybody that is pertaining in criminality, not just the kidnapping and other things, he said that person is not an IPOB member. And he was very emphatic. Let's take a listen from what he said.
The court is also entitled to change its mind as well, depending on the strength of the argument.
Thank you.
So we hope that they'll change their mind.
They are using it to do experiments against us.
Exactly. So there is no way we're going to allow that to happen. My rights must be respected. It's important. My right to fair hearing must be observed and obeyed.
Understand that. They brought him to Kenya into this talk and allow him to talk without his wife.
You were talking about your health condition. What exactly is wrong with you, sir?
I have congenital heart failure. Congestive heart failure is called. From the medication, you can tell. So they're basically trying to keep me alive. So that when they calculate that I'm about to give up, that my heart is about to pack up, they will now say go. So when I go outside, I will die outside. That's what they're trying to do.
The medications they've been giving to you, has it not been working?
It's not working. If it's working, why would I have all these lumps underneath my...
And he has written a petition to the Nigerian Medical Association, where they brought one quack doctor, somebody who is not a doctor, to treat him.
To come and try and treat me.
But up to now, they
don't know what they're doing. And they know they don't know what they're doing. Or else, why would I have this?
As long as it remains in DSS custody, there will be
no trial.
So what is your application for the court? What do you want?
Is seeking for a non-custodial arrangement by the court.
You said house arrest.
Exactly. I don't mind house arrest because I'll defeat them. In this court, I'll defeat the government of Nigeria. Yeah. The whole world will see it. Where is the treasonable felon? Where is it? All these years, journalists are shouting treasonable, treason. What's the treason today? It's gone. The same way this terrorism charge will go. I'm thinking of another capital offense they can charge me with. Maybe, I don't know, impregnating the wife of somebody. I don't know what other thing they're going to charge.
Are you saying you are innocent of all these charges?
The federal government, they know I'm not guilty. My only guilt is that I'm fighting for my people. And I will fight for them.
Okay, sir, last
for justice and fairness and equity everywhere.
Last question. Has your family been able to...
Anybody using IPOB to commit crime is a criminal. It's not part of this family. Our family is based on 4 cardinal points. You must be without fear before your enemies. You must speak the truth always, even if it leads to your death. You must help the poor and those who cannot help themselves, and be of good character that God may love thee. That's who we are.
So what will be your words to those out there in the East who are killing in the name of IPOB?
That they are criminals. They are criminals. They are not part of this family. We are called a family for a reason. We've come to serve our people, not to enslave them. Anybody conducting any type of activity that contravenes the welfare of our people is a criminal and must be dealt with.
Thank you very much, sir.
Any form of violence or subversion in the name of Biafra is not part of this family. Our family is noble. It's called IPOB. It's all over the world.
So you condemn anything that has to do with killing?
In total, why would I kill? And violence. People have sacrificed my parents for them. Why would I want to kill any other person after that?
Anybody who's committing crime in the name of IPOB
is a criminal.
It's Nnamdi Kanu condemning in totality any crime that is being committed by using the name of IPOB or Biafra that is supposed to be a crime, that person is a criminal. I was very emphatic on this. But anyway, we just wanted to point out this silent issue for those people who are actually stopping people and not going to market on Mondays and all of that. Maybe it is a crime for you to stop people or vandalize people's property because they are going to their own farm or their market because you want them to sit at home. Yeah, the leader of the IPOB has now finally put that to rest, that if it is a crime and you are committing it in the name of IPOB, that you are a criminal. So with that very one, I think we'll come to the conclusion of today's things that we are profiled to air, and until we come back again tomorrow. But again, I will not fail to inform you again that Saturday is the date that we are going to sit on the Obidient Family Cooperative Society meeting by 9 p.m. We are going to display the Zoom invite link by Friday to make sure that all intending members of the Obidient Family Cooperative Society join. If you are watching us now for the first time, please like and share, and make sure that you go to the description of this very video. You are going to find the Obidient Family Cooperative Community WhatsApp platform. Is there? Join the platform to know the plans that we have on working from consumption to production, as our excellencies P2B has always said. So we are working towards that and being an active opposition, one, and then two, making sure that we are doing something and putting ourselves together in unity come 2027. But we must start on time, and that's the reason why we are inviting every well-meaning Nigerian to join the Obidient Family Cooperative Society. The link for the WhatsApp community is there on this, and we expect you to also forward this to other members or other platforms that you belong to and invite them to join. We'll be talking more about the objectives and how we can help individuals who are there as on cooperative basis. Until tomorrow again, when we come your way, bye for now.
What we're seeing in Nigeria today is part of that story. It's a tragedy that we are watching. It's a tragedy that we are all witnessing, because as we see things falling apart, the pressure this time is not taken from the Nigerian people and hidden their ill-gotten gains here. We know that our banks, sadly, have been used for that profit and for that illegal transfer of assets. And that means that the UK is in an almost unique position in being able to actually do something to really exert pressure on those who have robbed the Nigerian people. Now, this puts a particular onus on the Minister, and I know my right honourable friend knows it, that using Magnitsky sanctions today isn't just about protecting Nigeria, although it is. It's not just about respecting Nigerian young people who have been robbed and murdered by these SARS units. It's actually about protecting the United Kingdom, because what happens in Nigeria matters fundamentally to us here. This is the third country of the Commonwealth. This is a country of 200 million people. It is going to be the great economic powerhouse of Africa and one of the great economic powerhouses of the world. This is a country whose wealth, not just in the oil off the river state, but in the imagination and creativity of its people, is witnessed every day in Nollywood, and perhaps more my style, at the great University of Jos. This is a country that gives so much to the world already, despite the fact that it is ill-governed, brutalized and robbed. Just imagine what it could give if the plateau state